Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. We have a very interesting dialogue here that represents a lot of what we talk about here on the BuzWeaver channel, and that is the establishment uniparty working in coordination against Donald Trump, which the left and the establishment consider to be a conspiracy theory. However, when Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan present this outline to Attorney General Merrick Garland, he, of course, goes into defense mode, into plausible deniability mode, particularly when asked about Matthew Galangelo, who left the DOJ to intentionally pursue Donald Trump. And, of course, we know the meetings that took place with Joe Biden and other individuals like Letitia James. So it isn't a conspiracy, but because the establishment uniparty is in control, their attitude is, what is anyone going to do about it? Because if you challenge the establishment, they will simply shame you, silence you, ridicule you, humiliate you, and suggest that you are involved in a conspiracy theory. And who's going to stop them? So it's absolutely extraordinary that everyone pay very close attention to this dialogue.
Attorney General, you've told us that it's a dangerous conspiracy theory to allege that the Department of Justice is communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump. You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fani Willis's office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
If you make a request, we'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about. Now, you were a judge, once nominated the highest court in our country. When you were a judge, I'm just curious, did you ever make political donations to partisan candidates?
No.
No, and you didn't because that would create the potential appearance of impropriety.
I didn't because there's a federal rule barring federal judges from making contributions.
Right, but under that same theory of attacks on the judicial process, like, shouldn't someone be owed like a jury of their peers and a judge that's non-biased rather than getting a judge from your political opponent's donor file?
I'm well aware that you're not asking a hypothetical. You're asking me to comment on a jury verdict in another jurisdiction which has to be respected. I won't comment on it. That case is still ongoing. The defendant
Mr. Attorney General, I hadn't asked you about the verdict yet. We were getting there. I was talking about the judge. And so let me ask you this question about your time as a judge. Was there ever a time when you were a judge when you had a family member who was personally profiting off of the notoriety of a case that was before your court?
Look, I'm going to say again, it's very clear you're asking me to comment on a case in another jurisdiction.
No, wait, hold on, Mr. Attorney General. Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you sat over?
Say again, you're asking
yes or no?
You're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're connecting the dots, Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general principle, but you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution. You are aware that that creates the appearance of impropriety. You know the very reason there's a federal rule against judges giving donations is because it is the very attack on the judicial process that we're concerned about.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with anything you just said, but I'm not going to comment on it.
Okay, so you won't comment on it, Mr. Attorney General, but you had no problem dispatching Matthew Colangelo. Who's Matthew Colangelo?
That is false. I did not dispatch Matthew Colangelo.
Matthew Colangelo became the Assistant Attorney General at the very beginning of the Biden administration. Without having been Senate confirmed, goes and gets this senior role at the DOJ, and then after, I believe it's Gupta replaces Colangelo, Colangelo makes this remarkable downstream career journey from the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and then pops up in Alvin Bragg's office to go get Trump. And you're saying that's just a career choice that was made that has nothing to do with the lawfare coordinated by the
saying it's false. I did not dispatch Mr. 𝐀𝐻𝐿𝐵 anywhere.
Well, do you know how he ended up there?
I assume he applied for a job there and got the job.
But see, you know what?
I can tell you I had nothing to do with it.
Well, you might not have had anything to do with it, but we've got this contemporaneous evidence in Mr. Pomerantz's book. So Pomerantz writes this book, which I'm sure you're aware of, where he says, we put together the legal eagles to get Trump. We got all these folks together and we assembled them for that purpose. And so when we on the Judiciary Committee think about attacks on the judicial process, our concern is that the facts and the law aren't being followed. A target is acquired, here, Trump, and then you assemble the legal talent from DOJ, Mr. Pomerantz, and you bring everybody in to get him. And meanwhile, the judge is making money on it. The judge is making money on it. The judge's family is making money on it for stuff that you yourself wouldn't do. You know, no one's going to buy this. No one's going to believe it. It's going to create great disruption. And I am saddened by it because, like you, I've given my life to the law. I care deeply about the law, and I think that the lawfare we've seen against President Trump will do great damage well beyond our time in public service. I see my time's expired. I yield back.
All right, guys, so it's important to note here that the establishment uniparty working in coordination, they don't need any of these trials to complete in success. All they need is for everyone to believe that Donald Trump, well, not everyone, but the politically disinterested, the undecided voters, those who aren't quite sure what direction things are going in, they need those individuals to think that Donald Trump is a criminal, that he is not eligible to be president of the United States. And the establishment already knows all these details. But what's interesting is all these assets like Letitia James and Judge Engoron and Merchan and Alvin Bragg and Letitia James, and Fani Willis, these individuals are the ones that are going to be taking the fall for the establishment because the establishment is insulated. It is a multi-tendrilled evil monster that works behind the scenes. And so they aren't interested in whether or not any of these trials are going to complete or come to fruition or even convict Donald Trump, which either way it goes, they don't care. As long as they can paint the idea in people's mind that Donald Trump is some sort of one-dimensional villain, that's all they need. And that's what's important. So they hide behind all of this minutia. They hide behind all of this nuance and these conspiracy theories because they will go after anyone who challenges them. And the reason you're seeing all this unprecedented historic activity is because Donald Trump is the only person who will go after them. Get them out of the way so the country can prosper. I want to thank all you guys across all New Tech for your guys' continued support. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, so take advantage of that. Follow me there, and it's appreciated that all of you guys like and share the content because this is so vitally important. And, of course, appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on to subscribe to the channel if you're watching via YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe as well. It's a select notification. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see all you guys in the next video.